October is finally here, and you know what that means. It's spooky season. So grab yourself another pair of underpants and join me as I continue the home series at the infamous haunted Mansfield Reformatory. Mansfield Reformatory is a place I've only been once before, and that was for a paranormal investigation. I was a paranormal investigator for quite a few years, and actually I just went back and helped some friends film a documentary at another haunted location, which you're going to see a shoot coming up a little bit later that I did there as well before we did our investigation film documentary there. You know, Mansfield is supposed to be one of the most haunted places, and it's where they filmed Shawshank Redemption. And I knew I had to go here for the home series. You can book private photo shoots before the place opens, and that's what I did. I forget how much I paid, but it was quite a bit of money. The downside is that you were not allowed to film on the grounds. So unfortunately, you're not going to see any footage of me shooting or any footage of Mansfield, period. But instead what I'll do is I'll throw in some ghost stories as we go through these photos. Now after you enter in, you come into this beautiful room that I suppose was once the intake for the prison. And the tour really starts at the Warden's Office. Now this is the first shot that I took, and this was shot with Silbersalz 35 here of the Warden's desk. After you get through this room, you kind of go through like a little museum area, and they have the electric chair and I believe like gas chamber and different execution methods and shanks and all that, you know, really light and cheery stuff. Then you kind of head up these stairs and you get into this room. Now I know this was in Shawshank Redemption. I've honestly never seen the movie, so I'm not 100% sure what part this bedroom played in the movie, but it was a beautiful place to get a few shots. I absolutely love the way that the photos in this area turned out. The way that the walls are still kind of disrepaired, it's got that grunge look to it, and this is just a beautiful freaking scene. I'd love to get back here with some models and reshoot this area, which I'm probably going to do next year is my plan. Also took a few shots here with the Silbersalz 35, which as we know once again is Kodak Vision 3 film. I was actually using my Olympus Mu 2 camera because I knew I would need flash. I was shooting, I believe, Silbersalz 50D, which means it had to be shot at 25. So I knew I was going to need a flash, so I just decided why not just bring the Mu 2 along. I love that camera, and it did a pretty good job here. Also got a close-up here of this little whole Brooks was here, so it was red thing that's kind of carved in there. I know once again this is absolutely from the movie. Haven't seen the movie, I gotta watch it sometime, but if you know what the deal is with this, and if you know what this room is, put a comment down below and let me know. One of my favorite shots that I got in this room is actually of this old fan. I don't know what it is, but this Vision 3 film, it just looks phenomenal, and I just love the look of this gritty old rusted fan next to this wall. So the final shot that I took in here with the Silbersalz 35 is this little image of the sink and the mirror. So after you go through this room, I believe next you head up to probably my favorite part of this place, and it's also a place where I had one of the worst experiences as a photographer. And we'll get into that here in a second, but this is the chapel. Now I did not get any photos in here with the Silbersalz, but let me go ahead and read to you about the paranormal aspect of the chapel. According to reports, the chapel is one of the most active areas in Mansfield Prison in terms of paranormal activity. It is often thought to be the central point for hauntings. There could be a very good reason why. Before this was converted into chapel, this is actually the area where prisoners were executed. It is very common for visitors to capture strange light anomalies in photographs taken here. And there's also been a lot of unexplained noises. In most reports, spirits are seen lingering in the doorways from the corner of your eye, but vanish as soon as you turn to look at them directly. Some visitors recently have reported being grabbed by the spirits, but it's not a very common occurrence. Now let me tell you my horror experience in the chapel. Now as I said earlier, I paid to rent this place out. Now I was supposed to have this place for an hour by myself. Here's the issue. They let a school group in early. You know, I was getting ready to wrap up in the chapel anyways. I was like, whatever, I got a couple of shots that I needed, so I'm just gonna go ahead and head out. Now, I'm not the most organized person when I go out and shoot, so I had some film holders laying around in areas I took shots because I'm trying to hurry. One of the teachers walked in, and there were actually two of them. But one of them turns to me and says, "Hey, is this yours?" And she's holding one of my film holders. I said, "Yeah, thanks." And she was like, "Well, I opened it up. Hopefully I didn't ruin anything." And I was like, "You did what?" And she said, "Well, I picked it up and it smelled funny. I didn't know what it was, so I decided to open it up." So this teacher exposed at least 3 of my frames. I believe that this was a film or a photography class because everyone had nice DSLRs. So either it was a very privileged school or it was some sort of photography class. And the worst part was that I didn't know what shots I lost. What I lost was all the shots of that painting and the mural on the back of the wall. So unfortunately, those are shots that are forever lost that I really wanted because I thought it was beautiful and I thought it was gonna be a great shot. After I finally collected myself, I then headed into the cell blocks. So what I'll do here is I'll just kind of cycle through some photos as I read to you some of the stuff that supposedly happens here within the cell blocks. Ghosts come from history but can also be part of it. Over the years, many inmates told the guards they were really scared at night, making Mansfield Reformatory ghosts different. They'd say that they'd wake up to invisible hands grabbing their bedsheets, pulling them tight and loose as if the ghosts were tucking them in. There is rarely a tour that passes without reports of shadow people, disembodied voices, phantom footsteps, or strange sounds like cell doors shutting. Now, if you do go to Mansfield Reformatory, there is a bunch more to see. For example, here's this room that I found with this information room. I'm not sure what this used to be, but this was on like the 2nd floor near the cells. Actually, if you walked out, you were in the cell block. So this is a pretty cool room. And I also have this photo, and I'm not sure where I took it. But here's this old time radio that was there. Now, after I finished shooting the inside, I did go outside and get as many shots as possible. There were a lot of people there at this point, but I was able to sneak some shots in around the grounds. And you know, these photos really do not begin to show you the massiveness of this prison. It's very hard to comprehend unless you've been there, which I do suggest going there, but maybe not paying for the photography tour, because you can go there and take photos as long as you don't take a tripod or lights or anything like that. I could definitely see myself going back, but just definitely not paying for the photography tour unless I bring in some models like I'm planning to do here in the near future. So once again, make sure you guys stay tuned, because here coming soon, I'm gonna have the video of the shoot that I did at the asylum that we stayed at and investigated. If the documentary is out by the time this video comes out, there will be a link in the description below, so look out for that. And also make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you won't miss it, because there's some really cool photos coming up and it's a really awesome place that I want you guys to see. So once again, thank you guys for watching. Keep shooting and developing, and remember, never, ever quit chasing your happiness.